Let me hit record. Hey guys, welcome to tonight's team call. Once again, I'm Tanya Stewart, Emerald Ambassador. Super excited to be bringing you Emerald Jordan Reynolds. She's just, I believe, I hope I don't get this wrong, only 24 years old. She's going to run you through her journey, some of her highs and lows, the testimonial she has for the products, and then I'll shoot some questions at her if they arise, and we'll let her wrap tonight's call up. Jordan?
Okay, cool. Well, Plexus actually found me whenever I was 19 years old. I was fresh out of high school. I was going into college, and I really needed something to help with, I would say, probably weight loss. I was super insecure. I had a lot of eating issues whenever I was a teenager. I was basically a yo-yo dieter, fad dieter. I've been on every diet out there, and it worked for a while, but for me, I would go through such a period of, I would binge, and then I would not eat for a long period of time. So it was this really bad cycle, and it really shot my metabolism. So when I was 19 years old, I was still doing softball. I was a cheerleader. I was a runner. I was a fitness instructor, and I still couldn't lose weight. No matter what I was doing, it wouldn't work. And so I found these products when I was going to college. My friend Susie was posting about this stuff called Plexus on Facebook, and she said that she quit Diet Dr. Pepper basically overnight, and I was drinking about 90 ounces of soda a day. And so I needed these products so bad. And so I got a 3-day trial from her, and then basically I joined just for the discount. I never thought I would share with a single person. I needed the discount just because it was cheaper. I'm an introvert. I'm also not a salesperson at all. And so when she was talking about Emerald Sapphire Diamond, the Lexus program, Hawaii, all this stuff, I was like, yeah, no one's going to take me seriously. I'm 19. I'm not a salesperson, so no. But I was posting about Plexus before my products even came in, because those 3 days I felt so different. I was sharing about the energy I had, the less cravings I was dealing with, and I had lost a couple pounds during it too. So I just felt so good. So I started just sharing. And so I had my products paid for probably pretty quick. I think I went gold within a couple months. I was ruby at 20, and then I was senior ruby at 21, and then I went emerald at 21 too. No, senior ruby at 20. Yeah, senior ruby at 20, and then I went emerald at 21. So I just love these products. And what I found during my journey was that I fell in love with our products, our company. I really wanted to know the reasons why I was feeling better and why they worked the way they did. The things that they've helped me with are, I have really bad sleep issues. That's putting it mildly. I think I would be in a sleep study now if I didn't have Plexus. And it changed everything for me. I also had strep throat 6 times within a 6-month period. And now I don't. I've had strep twice in almost 5 years, which is so different. And I feel so good. So at the beginning of my journey, I lost 15 pounds. I felt very different. I had energy again. I quit having to take naps between classes. And then I got to actually retire from college because of Plexus. And so then ever since then, I've been basically traveling, having fun, going after my goals. I became a personal trainer, a certified holistic health coach. I went to the #1 school for nutrition, and I'm about to become a fitness nutrition specialist in a couple weeks. And that's all because of Plexus. And this year alone, I've gone to Ireland, London, I've gone to Italy, and then last year I got to go to Israel. And this coming year, I'm going to Israel with my church and my grandma. And then for my birthday, I'm going to Austria, Germany, Switzerland, London, Paris. I think that's it.
Oh, that's all.
And it's just been awesome. Yeah. And then this year alone, I actually had to restart my health journey. I kind of went through a lot last year. And so I really quit taking care of myself personally. And I lost 17 pounds this year. And I feel super different. I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression issues. And a year later of being consistent and really being consistent with just eating really clean, working out, taking our products, my life is very different. So I feel so much better. And I really would tell anybody who's thinking about going all in with the business or going all in with the products, I would say just do it. Because for me, having to start over in December of last year, I had gained basically all my weight back just because life happens and crazy things kind of happen, and we put ourselves kind of on the back burner there for a little bit. I would say go all in and be consistent, because those 20 pounds didn't come out of nowhere. And they're not going to go anywhere out of nowhere either. Like you're going to have to consistently do things. And I always tell my team, you have to think of your journey, your business, whatever it is, as like a mountaintop. So your goal is to get to that mountaintop, but how are you going to get there if you don't move? If you don't change things and you expect things to change, they're not going to. So the things that I did, I ate better. I drank my water. I got sleep. I loved myself where I was, but I knew I was on a journey and I was okay with that. And I was consistent with our products and I worked out. And that consistency's led me to where I am today a year later. So, and I would tell you with the business too. I mean, I never thought I would do anything like this. Like if somebody told me when I graduated high school that I would be in network marketing and getting to travel the world, because it's always been my dream. Like I was voted most likely to travel the world in high school, but I was like, how is that going to happen? Like I have no idea. And it's because of Plexus. I literally pay all my bills because of Plexus. I'm able to travel, I'm able to save, and it's awesome because you're not only getting to have a job that pays extremely well for your time and your effort, but you're getting to make a huge impact on other people too, which is so awesome. And I'm so passionate about the products, the business. It's honestly amazing. So that's my story.
Awesome. So did you have a large network when you came into the business?
I did not. I've been teaching Zumba since I was 17. So I would say most of my network probably happened during that time. I still teach Zumba. I've been teaching for over 7 years now, which is awesome. But yeah, I would say mostly it was a bunch of my high school friends, a bunch of my high school teachers that got on it, college teachers, and then I would say probably two like Zumba instructor friends and Zumba students. So that's really where I pulled from. And then now it's changed to where a bunch of my college friends, like sorority sisters, are on the products now, and then still continuing. Students come and go, so my students are still on the products too.
Okay, so what did you have any struggles through the beginning of your season, like going to Emerald, or actually during any of your season with Plexus, your 5 years? Did you have any struggles?
I'm thinking. I think that belief and like believing that I could do it. I didn't have the vision the first year. I think I was just excited and I really liked how I felt, so I started sharing. We were all so new. I'm underneath Kristen's using a call directly, and so we kind of learned as we went together. And I went Ruby. We didn't know what Ruby meant. I was just getting checks and I was getting these certificates in the mail, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, went Ruby. I just am telling people. And I didn't realize it was a big deal, and I almost didn't go to convention because I like didn't feel like I should. And so, but I did. I went to convention with my friend Shonda, and all the Emeralds were standing up on stage, and that's when I caught the vision. And it wasn't because of this huge paycheck. It wasn't because of the car. It was because of what like each woman represented up there. They represented that they helped so many people, which is my passion, is to help other people. And they also had freedom. They had freedom to choose what they were going to do and what they weren't going to do with their lives. And I've always wanted to be like a stay-at-home mom. So like whenever I have kids, like I get to be there for everything. And that's what I've always wanted to do because my mom got to do that with us. And so it's just, that's probably when I caught the vision. So I know everybody has their aha moment, but that was mine. So I would say the struggle I had was kind of not having vision for a year, but I was still doing the things to keep going, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably the other thing I probably would say, I don't even know. I would say that anything that people think, yeah, that's what I was saying. So I would say the second biggest thing is people's belief and people's thinking. Like everybody isn't thinking about you all the time. And so you can be the crazy Plexus girl. In fact, you should be the crazy Plexus girl. And for a while, I would say probably about year 2, year 3, I was really stuck in, oh my gosh, I don't want people to think this or that. And they're not thinking that at all. It's all about relationships. And whenever you change your mind to just making relationships and not just doing sales and not just selling them Plexus, you make it about them, it really does change things, and it makes them have a stake in what they're doing too, just because they feel like you are connecting with them. So I guess that it would be like a limiting belief that everybody's thinking about you like in a different way than you think they are, because they're not. Does that make any sense at all?
Yes, it does. It does to me.
Okay.
Does it make any sense to anyone else?
It does.
So that's kind of what I dealt with and stuff. And then figuring out that whatever because you have these thoughts come in your head all the time, and you can choose, honestly, to believe that's true or not. And that's up to you. So I think that's what I kind of learned year 2 and year 3 is to change that.
So how do you look down onto your team as a young person? And do you have any struggles in terms of influencing the people that are beneath you from a leadership standpoint?
I've honestly never been that person who thinks like that. I've never really seen age ever. I just really have tried to know what I was talking about and learn as I went. And I think that whenever people know your heart and your intention, I think that your age is irrelevant because they know what you bring to the table. And that doesn't mean any means anywhere. That means if older people want to talk to younger people talk to older people, like, doesn't matter. I think it's how you present things. And even talking to my team too, like, they know that I'm there for them. What I do for them is every day there's like testimonies on the team page, there's encouragement, motivation, we're always doing something fun. And then I do a newsletter every week too, just to let them know, like, I'm thinking about them, fun, exciting things that we're doing. And then also a little bit what's going on with like me and Ollie in our lives. That's my dog. Nobody knows my dog. So I always have a cute picture of us like talking about what we did this week or something, just so we can connect. So just that connection is really important too.
And so I'm hearing a certain pattern in what you're describing, but I don't want to like throw it right out there and make it obvious. So I kind of want to ask you a question of like, when it comes to being successful in this business, when you're talking to your team or when you're looking at your own success, is it a specific process or mindset, or is it something entirely different that you feel is kind of the icing on the cake that allows you to be Emerald, to be working towards Sapphire, and to have a successful team? Are you following me?
Yeah, kind of. I think so. You want like the biggest thing that I think that is important?
Yes, go.
Okay. I would say it's 2 things. I think connection is the biggest thing. And I think that like mindset is the second thing. And it's like a whole umbrella of stuff underneath that. But I think the biggest thing is connection and making sure, especially because it's not just, if anybody else is feeling this, then I'm there with you guys. Facebook groups is very different this year. So connection is really important. So that's why I started the newsletter. That's why if I see people that are building and working, I'll call them or I'll message them on Facebook and just congratulate them. Still using the team page, but it's still, Facebook is kind of messing with it a lot. So, but that connection is really important. So finding other ways to connect with your team. A phone call is important. I always like to do, for my top 10 PV people, I'll send them a letter in the mail. I'll send them a gift. So just making you're investing in them, not just for the product business, but in life. And then the second thing is just mindset. Huge. If you believe that you can, you're right. And if you believe you can't, you're right too. And I think that's a big thing too that I had to learn in the journey too. Because before I went Emerald, I actually dropped really far below senior Ruby points. And I just decided that it was December 26, 2015. And I decided I'm going Emerald this year. I don't care what that looks like. I know it's going to happen before my 22nd birthday. So let's do it. And I made a decision, and it happened in March. It happened March, I think 30th or March 29th. And it was crazy. So it's just powerful when you make your mind up. So if you believe that this isn't for you, you can't do it, you're too introverted, you're too young, you don't have the network, you're probably not going to do it. But if you find that those reasons aren't excuses, but they're your reason why, and you're going to change that, like, that's big. Like for me, I've been a fitness instructor since I was 17. So a lot of my market there is I wouldn't even say saturated. I would say I've touched that market. So I'm deciding now to go to other people. So I'm going to join a different like youth group for my age. I'm also going to join a running group this year too, just to meet new people. So whatever that looks like, you know.
So when you made that switch, obviously that was a mindset shift that you were going to go Emerald no matter what. What shifted in your activity? Because obviously you can't make the decision and then sit back and go, well, where is it? You know what I'm saying? So what was your shift in activity?
I was doing a lot of personal development. So I was reading a lot of books. I feel like if people have time to watch The Bachelor, they have time to invest in themselves. And I think that.
Thank you for saying that. So it was you and not me.
Yeah, I watched Dirty John. I really like that show, you guys. But I also really like John Maxwell too, and he's honestly a lot nicer than the other guy. But I like both. I make time for both, and you also have more time than you think. So I was doing a lot of personal development, and that looks like for me TED Talks. It looks like YouTube videos, finding people that you connect with on YouTube. It's so easy now, and just watch their stuff. It amps you up. When I'm driving around, that's what I listen to. And then I also changed kind of, how do I say this? I was looking at my team and being like, why aren't they working? And I had to take a step back and say, what did your personal business look like the last 6 months? And I took an inventory and I was like, okay, well, this is what I would want future. Let's do it. So I put sticky notes on my wall. I knew I needed like people to go Emerald for like my personal stuff and then help my other team to do their stuff too. And so I put stickies and I did that. I think at the end I signed 25 and 30 in 3 months, which is awesome. So like I put those stickies out there and I just wrote people's names down the second that they signed, and I was like, okay, done. And we went Emerald in March. And I also helped my team too. So connecting with them, making sure that they're plugged in, seeing what they need, letting them know that I'm there for them. And keep in mind, you guys, I did this while I was going to college. So don't get overwhelmed by what I'm telling you. You can work this in where you want to and where you can. This is not a 24/7, go balls to the wall for like 3 months and be exhausted. Like this was very manageable. During this time, I was in college. I was in a sorority. I was teaching fitness classes. I was going to church. I was also a youth leader. So you can see I was doing all these things, but I made time and I was intentional with my time. And I think that's what changed, is I wasn't just scrolling Facebook wondering, oh my gosh, I hope that Sam messages me soon or blah, blah, blah. I was being intentional. I was reaching out. I was going to events. I was making sure I was plugged in and filling my cup too and working out and doing the things I like. So it's just being intentional. Everybody has the same 24 hours.
Okay, so I'm going to spill the beans and tell you what's kind of on my mind. That is, I'm curious to draw from you and hear your perspective on. Is when you make that intentional decision to go Emerald, and then you line up your activity and you're diving into mindset and so forth. But of course, the activity behind signing 25 people is different than watching a TED Talk. When you approach those people and you're going to sign them to your team and you're successful at that, for me, I feel like if I can tell my team the number one reason some people are able to do that and others are not is based upon passion. I'm a really strong believer that passion is what people buy into. And so some people will come to me and they will get frustrated. Like they'll go through 100 people or 200 people and they're talking to all those people and asking them to come to Plexus, and they will have zero success. Let's just say that. What I always find is that it is a matter of, are you approaching those people with full belief, head-on belief in what you're doing, what you're representing from the business side, as well as your belief in the product? Or are you coming to those people with an invitation and in your heart and your mind, you're really actually thinking, oh my gosh, I bet you they say no, or oh my gosh, is it real that I could ever get to Emerald? Will this actually work? That type of thing. So when you went and tackled Emerald, going from below senior review to Emerald in 3 months, does any of that resonate with you in terms of why you were successfully able to sign 25 people in that time frame?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you
All
speak
of it
on that?
does. I think, yeah, I think it's hard to have passion for something that you don't know, I would say, enough about, and you personally don't know why you're passionate. I think if you see this, and it's hard because if you don't have a why that you're passionate about as well, that's tough. My why was to quit college because I was done. I had reached the cap where I was going to have to go back and do my basics. And I was like, nope, I'm done. This is what I want to do the rest of my life. I love helping people. And I learned why I love the business, why network marketing is awesome. I learned more about our products, and I learned why they worked. And I say that not to discourage anybody to not reach out, but learn as you go. You have to understand I was 19. I knew how to fad diet like no one's business. I was the expert about that. But I didn't know anything about health. But I learned as I went, and I learned, okay, I have more energy. Why? My gut feels better. Why? I'm able to sleep. Why? So whenever you figure out why our products work, what our company's about, the people, the testimonies, like it will make you find a why, but you have to find a personal why yourself. And then now my why has evolved since I quit college. Now my why is to live a life of my dreams that I don't have to clock into anybody. If I want to leave tomorrow to go to Russia, let's say something really far out there, I can do that. Like that's my goal now. My goal is to say, I want to do this, I can. So find a why for you. And now my why for my team is I want to help them do exactly what I did. So I think that a lot of people, you have to make that shift, and you have to know for yourself that you can do it for sure, and find that passion and find your why. So figure out, take basically your story, and then from there, what do you want to do with it? Because you weren't brought to this company by any like random happenstance. Like use your story to help other people, and if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want in return, and you end up with a ton of friends too. So it's awesome. So go all in. I would say that this is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's like a marathon, because it took me, and it was worth every second of it. I did it during college. You guys can do it. You have to choose so that you're going to do it. And I was watching a video from Emily Gibson. This is a little rabbit trail, but it's so good. She was saying that the inconsistency and the in and out, and the people that are not passionate, not pouring into themselves, it's killing your business. And people can smell it a mile away. And for me, whenever I was 2015, I was in and out all the time. I had a really strong team, but for me, I was like consistent sometimes, not consistent. And then when I made that shift, it showed. And people want to go to people and be helped by people that are passionate and know what they're doing, and they know that they're going to be taken care of. So if you're always in and out, or you're doing something else, and you go to do something else, and you go to company, or you work out for like, you walk into a gym one time in a month, and then you expect six-pack results, that's not going to happen. So it's a marathon. That's what I'm trying to say. It's huge. But once you make that decision, you're in it for the long haul. And I knew that if I didn't hit it by 22, or when I turned 22, I was going to hit it that year anyway. So I knew that would totally take care of itself that year. But definitely just decide. And then you have to commit and show up every day. That's super important.
Yeah. I've often said that if you are not consistent, I mean, pulling away from your business every now and again because you go on vacation or you get sick with the flu for 10 days or whatever is understandable. But if you're in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out constantly over the time frame of 6 and 12 months or more, I often say you might as well stop working your business altogether, because the 1 or 2 times that you're showing up a week or a month or what have you, you might as well go get a piece of cake and sit down and enjoy yourself, because those 1 or 2 times are probably not going to do a whole lot for you because people are watching you. And it's so opposite of what people think. People think, well, I can't post too much and I can't bug people too much because then they'll think I'm the crazy plexus lady. But in fact, it's you're impressing upon them the passion that you have for this business, and that you take it that seriously, and that invites them to take it seriously versus it being something about bugging you.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like when people take the products like every once in a while and they expect to have results like mine where I did the things I knew to do for a year and I lost 17 pounds. And they're like, oh, I took it last week. It like doesn't really work. I still have cravings. And I'm like, you take it every day. And then you have to change things too. It's not a miracle worker, but it is phenomenal and amazing, amazing, amazing stuff. But you got to do some changing too, honestly. Because if you're still putting a brownie in your mouth every day while taking your pink drink, like it might help a little bit. But if you're wanting those results, you're wanting to feel your best, you've got to show up where it counts. And I totally preach to my clients I coach 90-10. 90% of the time you eat kind of clean. I'm not talking like rabbit food, but like things that are sustainable and easy. Find that for you. People like vegan, people like vegetarian, people like, I don't know if you're carnivores. I'm not. I wish I was. It'd be so much easier. But find that balance, and then 10% of the time, this weekend I had a donut. Like, find that balance and know that this isn't a diet, but that it's a consistent effort, just like your business too. And I'll say this too. I have people who want this huge story before they'll share with a single person. And I'm like, why? The reason I think people that are jewels are successful, it's because they take people on a journey. People this year, if I had just out of the blue said I lost 17 pounds, they'd be like, whatever, girl. Like, no. They saw my journey from day one, where I posted, I'm recommitting to myself. They celebrated each victory of 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 15 pounds. They're going to celebrate 20 by the end of this year. And it's because I've taken them on a journey and they connect with me. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that you need to realize that this isn't technically, I would say this is a story that you're telling. And even if your journey is already done, you can still go back and look at those things and say, okay, this is where I was. And tell your audience where you were, because people will connect with you more than you posting about a 10% off graphic or these are the ingredients in Slim. Nobody really cares. They want to know, is it safe? Does it taste good? Will it work for me? And the answer is absolutely yes. And they'll connect with you that way with your story too.
Yeah. And I think you also touched upon a good thing there without even realizing it, is I actually have a lot of people that will say to me also, well, I didn't lose all the weight. Like maybe they'll have no more migraines or sleeping like a baby, but they only lost 10 pounds because maybe they're not willing to stop eating the brownie or what have you. So how can I do the business if I didn't lose all the weight? But here you are in your 4th year in the business and you've put on 17 pounds. That didn't make you go, oh, I can no longer do plexus. That's it. I put 17 pounds on that I didn't want. I'll have to give up on the business. No, you said, okay, well, this was a new phase in my life as a whole, not just my plexus journey. And now I need to get back on course, take my products consistently, do the right things. And in the meantime, I'm going to continue to do my business. And I expect people will still buy my product, even though I fluctuated in my weight. It makes you real and it makes the product real. I think. Anyway. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, something else you said I wanted to touch on, and I should have written it down, and now I can't remember. Does anyone have any questions? Because I don't want to keep her for too long.
You're good.
No questions for you. You can always chat it in too. Oh, that is bugging me now, what I was going to say to you. Something about your consistency journey. That's my 46-year-old mind. And I take all the products consistently, I promise.
Hey, Tanya, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
It makes you feel better. I had my brother turn around to go make sure I didn't leave my stove on last night.
Yeah.
And if it had been on, it would have been on for 24 hours. I was like, Bree, I think my dog's going to die. I'm going to burn the apartment down. I was like, turn around. It wasn't on, but I forgot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it happens to all of us.
Yeah.
I think what I want to tell you guys, if we're going to end, is that, like, I want y'all to know that there is nothing special about anybody that's a jewel. Sure, we're all made by God. We're all awesome, all those things. But we all have the same capabilities and the same opportunity. And I didn't think that at 19 I could do this. I was super insecure. I did not like myself at all. I was not confident. I just needed to lose weight and to feel better because my health was seriously jacked, to be honest. And what I found was during this journey, like 5 years in, I'm a whole different person. Like, I'm at a Thunder game right now. I performed at the Thunder game before. That would have terrified me. I danced in front of everybody. I've gotten to travel. I've lost weight. I've spoken at several events, and that gave me massive anxiety in high school and into college. But I've become a super confident person because of these products, and they've seriously given me the most amazing support system. Like, I never thought I would be able to do this. I thought going into college I would be a personal trainer, which, if you guys are in the fitness world, or if you don't know, fitness people make nothing. I've been in the industry since I was 17. I know that. So I kind of knew going into college, oh, I'm probably going to struggle. But I knew that I had to find something that would help, and I knew that God would provide something that would keep me going and give me the life that I dream of. And He has. And so it didn't look like that from day one. And it didn't look like that from day one at the beginning of this year either. I seriously had to work, but the journey was worth it. So I know everybody is so different. You are your own person. You have your own journey. Do not compare to anybody else, because there's only one you. And once you own your journey, own your story, own who you are, that's your brand and that's who you are, and share it with everybody that you can. And that's how you grow this business, is to be real, be vulnerable, and just be you, and believe in yourself. And no matter if it takes you 5 years, 10 years, 15 even, a six-figure income is amazing. And it's worth every single time that you show up to the gym, time that you eat that salad, even though you want to go get a brownie, whatever that looks like for you. But just know that this is your journey, own it, and show up for yourself. And the worst thing you could do is waste the next 5 years and be in and out of your goals. And it's exhausting. Nobody wants that. So this is a brand new year. It's so cheesy, but January 1st is a new time. Everybody after the 26th is looking for something. Be that person for people, and believe in yourself that this year could be different. And I promise you, if you show up every day for you, and it may look different every day, but when you show up consistently for the next year, you won't be the same person. If you had talked to me in December, I was not the same person I am today. So I just really want you guys to know going into this year that you can do it, and that this is your journey. So own it.
Oh my goodness. I love that, Jordan. We have a question, but I just want to tell you that I absolutely love it. You just nailed it. It's beautiful what you said. Oh wow, so good. I don't even want to add to it. It was too good. It's true. It's true. That consistency thing, again, like, I would just challenge everybody on here to listen to what she just said. This is recorded. Go back and listen to what she just said again. And then tell yourself, okay, I'm going to see if what she said is right. And I'm going to take January, February, March, 120 days, or 90 days, not even 120, 90 days. And I'm going to promise to my commitment of consistency for that 120 days. And I'm going to wake up and contact those people. I'm going to make quality Facebook posts. I'm going to make relationships with people, and I'm going to connect with, which means I'm going to connect with people, which you can do on your Facebook posts. You can do on group pages, and you can do a messenger. But I'm going to make that commitment to 90 days every day, and see if I really do see the change. I think where people go wrong oftentimes is they think they're doing that consistency, but they're not being real about it. And she even said it for herself, and I've definitely had it the same way, where when she was falling below Senior Ruby and wanted to go Emerald, she had to be real with herself and look back and go, what activity have I really done for the last 6 months? And she looked at it and realized, hey, I wasn't doing what I thought I was doing, and that work is not going to get me to Emerald. I need to make a shift here, and then I can get to Emerald. But not making that commitment and recognition that it's not that it won't work for you, it's making the commitment and the consistency that makes all the difference in the world. So I did end up adding to that, but oh well. Okay, I'm going to get Jessica on here to give you a question here. Jessica?
Okay.
Yeah, so hey, Jordan. My daughter is 20 and she is an ambassador as well. And what she has been running into at school is the college kids don't have the money to, buy the products, et cetera, et cetera. So when you first started out and you were 19, were you finding that your peers in college were the ones that you were able to appeal to, or were you able to appeal to, like, say, your professors, or like who was your audience? Who were your initial customers?
When I first started, I pulled a lot from my Zumba students, and I pulled a lot from my Zumba instructor friends, my mom's friends, people from church. And what I found as I've gotten older, once people graduate, they're getting married, having kids, they realize that number one, we're really unhealthy after college.
Yeah.
And then number two, that life is expensive. And so this is looking more appealing to them. But when we were in college, I was in 2 sororities, and there were very few people that were ordering. It was mostly older. So what I would recommend doing is finding something or an activity that she can connect with older people that are more established, that feel like health is like an investment, not an expense.
Right, right,
really
okay.
Because right
What
now,
about
I think like it's a movement right now. People are trying to get healthy again. So definitely find some older people that you can connect with, but still continue those relationships, because in probably 4 or 5 years, like with what I'm experiencing, they're going to come around.
Right.
Jordan, what would your opinion be, imagining yourself back in college, if you had a friend that wanted to go all in on Plexus and they came up to you and said, hey girl, I am super zealous and excited about starting a new business. It's Plexus Worldwide. It's a plant-based health company. Would you be willing to help me out by arranging a quick phone call with your mom and your mom and some of her friends, so I can just go over it with her and explain what the products do and see if she'd be interested in it? Like, would that freak you out, or would that be an avenue that you?
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I think that it's about a relationship, and I'm so glad that you said that, because like that is such like a good like mirror. That's so good. Like, it's good to know for like cold messaging what would work and what wouldn't.
But if
that
you were
was, like,
talking,
what you just said.
But if you were talking to your friend, you have the relationship with your friend. She would still not want to help you?
If it were me, just because I know my mom, the answer would be no. Just because she's into health now, but she was anti-health before this. She was kind of just like everybody else. I would probably, I don't know what I would do there. I think that social media has been important for me. So I've added a lot of my mom's friends and like my girlfriend's friends and moms, that's helped. I don't know if that would work for my friends truly, because my friends have actually come around, but it's taken them 4 years.
Okay.
But
The other recommendation I would have for your daughter, Jessica, is to get really good either on Instagram or Facebook, because keep in mind, I have an entirely cold market, and probably most of my new clients and ambassadors come off of Facebook. A lot of them reach out to me because of the influence I've created on Facebook, and being passionate about what I do and vocal about it is a big part of that. But then, sharing stories, sharing my story, but being good about it in an emotional way versus like just spamming a story. It's different than saying, wow, I know what she feels like. I went through a phase in my life where I was so anxiety ridden, and I can totally connect with this girl, and check out how awesome she's feeling today. Like, that's a little bit different than just going, look at this testimonial, read it. So having that ability to be connected either on IG or Facebook, or if she's got some other social media. But I mean, I have been all total cold market for years now, and I don't have friends to go to and help me build my business either. And I'm still growing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, she's good with Instagram, so I'll send her that direction.
And we have amazing videos on Instagram. You can go on YouTube and type in Plexus Instagram, and there's some really good training videos on it. Same with the Ambassador Community page. Jordan, you kind of broke up a little bit when you were saying how long you went to Jewel, and somebody wants to know that.
Okay, I was 21, so it took me 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any other questions? All right. Thank you so much, Jordan. You fed me as much as you fed anybody else here. It was great. I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for
All right, guys.
me.
You're welcome. Have a great night. Enjoy your travels this year.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.